Stabbed, tased, and tortured for hours in a terrifying home invasion. Prominent Fairfax County, Virginia attorney Leo Fisher and his wife Susan Duncan are left for dead.
Two bloodied and battered victims, blood all over.
But the assailant manages to escape into the night. Unlucky for the intruder, both victims survive. And incredibly, Leo believes he knows the attacker's identity. Shockingly, through a slit throat, he tells police the name, starting with the letter S.
Leo was able to literally spell the name of the person he thought was the intruder. He actually spelled the name Schmuhl.
Cops soon deduce they are looking for a man named Andrew Schmuhl.
They put out an APB for this vehicle, and lo and behold, two police officers from Fairfax County spotted this particular vehicle on 495.
A high-speed chase ensues.
They'll still reaching around in the back seat a whole lot.
4 miles later, the driver pulls over and exits the car. It's a woman. So where's Andrew? With guns still drawn, cops approach the car, and that's when they see it.
This passenger, the male, was literally wearing an adult diaper, and that was it. And there was also blood stains on the adult diapers.
Hey, what's your name? Huh?
Andrew?
Andrew? What's your last name? What's your birthday?
Something's wrong.
Something's wrong with you?
Yes. They can probably shut down.
Yeah, we got the ambulance coming.
So they've got Andrew Schmuhl in custody, but who's the woman?
Hey, ma'am, did he take medicine or something?
It's Andrew's wife, Alecia.
Does he have a medical condition?
He has a lot of medical conditions. Call the VA, they've got all his records.
Andrew is taken to the hospital, then cops bring him to the station where Alecia is already being interrogated. Investigators eventually search the car and find what appears to be a mountain of evidence.
Police found his clothing, and his clothing was blood-soaked.
They also find a taser, an Indiana Jones-style hat, a novelty badge, handcuffs, burner phones, ammonia, which the bloody clothes are doused in, and a hit list with other names on it. And they find more.
They found what they're calling an abduction kit. Parts of a Cobra 380, believed to be the handgun used. They found the knife that was actually used to stab both victims.
And in a search of their home, even more incriminating evidence, including a receipt for the taser and adult diapers. So who are these apparently sadistic, cold-blooded perpetrators, Andrew and Alecia Schmuhl?
They both met in law school. Alecia was the senior editor at her law school newspaper. She played the violin, worked with children. From all appearances, she was a very well-liked individual. Andrew was an attorney, and he worked for the government and the military. He hurt his back in 2012, and as a result of that, he was prescribed a lot of different medication. And because he could not work, Alecia became the breadwinner of the family.
Amazingly, these violent individuals who attempted to kill Leo and Susan are fellow attorneys. And where did Alecia work? With Leo himself at the law firm of Kinney and Korman.
My understanding is that Leo, in fact, was a supporter of hers.
So what was the motive? Why did Andrew and Alecia Schmuhl, two talented attorneys, commit such a heinous crime?
Investigators consider many theories, but ultimately believe it all strangely stems from a loan application, where the couple fraudulently used Andrew's name.
On the loan application, she listed Andrew as working for the law firm. And when Leo confronted her, she initially denied it, but he instructed her that this could be considered fraud, and her actions would potentially make the law firm look bad.
The next day, Leo suspended Alecia. Andrew went to confront Leo. The meeting didn't go well.
Andrew became very upset, very loud, very belligerent.
Leo eventually fired Alecia, and just 11 days later, the Schmuhls carried out the horrific home invasion. The violent ordeal so devastating, Leo and his wife have never spoken publicly, turning down numerous requests from Crime Watch Daily.
The motive in all of this was?
The motive in this case eventually was believed to be greed and revenge. Alecia and Andrew were just so upset by the fact that Alecia had lost her job at this law firm that they wanted to get even, and they wanted to get paid.
Andrew and Alecia Schmuhl are each charged with 7 felonies, which include abduction, aggravated malicious wounding, burglary, and weapons charges. 18 months later, the case goes on trial.
You have attorneys who are the suspects, attorney who's the victim, the prosecutors, the defense attorneys.
Too many attorneys for one case, that's for sure.
Alicia's and Andrew's cases would be tried separately. Andrew's trial was first. His defense? Well, Andrew blamed the medications he was on, and he blamed his wife, Alecia.
Andrew's attorney argued that here you have an individual that was so out of it because of the medication that was provided to him by Alecia, and she used him basically to commit this horrific crime. He had no idea what was going on.
His team of attorneys, they came up with the involuntary intoxication defense.
The problem I assume they had is that they didn't have the right opinions as far as Andrew being legally insane. He's wearing a diaper, so there's obviously issues here. But he goes into the house. He's violent in the house. They take steps to escape.
Including the quote-unquote interrogation portion, where he's interrogating Leo Fisher and having him log into the private server and going through the emails.
So all of those steps, that all appears to be with thought. It's really inconsistent with intoxication, where somebody is not aware, is out of control.
The case later goes to the jury, and 7 hours later, a verdict. Guilty on all charges.
The advantage that the prosecution had was the fact that the victims lived. And by them being able to recognize and to identify their assailants, I think is what really sealed this case for the prosecution.
Andrew Schmuhl's sentence? 2 consecutive life terms, plus 98 years.
He is going to, in all likelihood, die in prison.
Next up is Alecia. She claimed Andrew was abusive and controlling, and he was the true mastermind behind the attack. Ultimately, Alecia decides to avoid a trial and takes a plea deal to 5 of the 7 charges. She is sentenced to 45 years.
The Fishers didn't ask for this. They didn't deserve this. This was a vicious, premeditated assault of the worst sort.
So 2 attorneys are now 2 prisoners for possibly the rest of their lives. And the scars from that horrible night may never go away for the 2 victims, Leo and Susan. But they are survivors who fought for their lives and won.
Was justice served in this case?
I think justice was served in this case. And at the end of the day, our victims survived. That's right. Yeah, that's the silver lining in this case. The victims survived.